Let's tune in.
Okay. Okay. Inhale. Exhale. And inhale. Om.
Namo
Gurudev.
Namo
Om.
Om Namo
Gurudev.
Namo Om
Om.
Namo Guru
Gurudev.
Namo
Aat Kare Name. Jugat Kare Name. Sat Kare Name. Sri Gurudev Name.
Ad
Aat Kare Name. Jugat Kare Name.
Sat Guru
Sat Kare Name.
Dev
Sri Gurudev Name.
Ad Guru
Aat Kare Name. Jugat Kare Name.
Sat Guru
Sat Kare Name. Sri Gurudev Name. Breathe. Okay. So now, uh, for the first thing, um, Japa Saraswati, can you tell me what happened this morning? Because I could not uh, do this uh, session, but see what happened.
Okay, so I had a phone call from Siri Gian this morning, um, because there was technical difficulties. Um, and so she read this to me, and there may be small quirks or errors. It's pretty good. We're gonna read the message. I just sent it to the text messages. Um, and then we will watch one video together, and then I'm going to send us afterwards um, another message from Siri Gian a couple of weeks ago that was very long, and so I'll send that to us so that we can read that independently, sort of after the fact, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Is that
And we do have the meditation for CNR. Okay.
yes.
Okay. So go ahead.
Okay, hold on one second. Want to send this. Um, February 25th, 2026, number 813, DNA choice point. Tune in, message. Dear light workers, yikes. This morning, February 25th, 2026, is actually happening. My TV and computer and phone are quirky or challenging all of my electronic difficulties. At the same time, I am finally projecting to the fifth dimension to make these new age to understand from me. Because you all know about bifurcation, you are realizing the truth for what is happening. I will do my best to help you with it as I am learning what is happening for the future. As I am seeing about from my own soul said that during my 40s I would become blind before I die. But now my eyes are changing for the worst, macular degeneration. So, my dears, now you must use your own voices from your own souls from Baba Siddhi Chand to come together to know what is happening to know what is happening to find your truth during this amazing time. I will still see for you for a while to learn about these remarkable changes from your lives, but you must come together to be who you are. On March 3rd, 2026, this Tuesday, is actually for the extraordinary time for changing. Please heed or listen to that your answer that happens. After this, you can see this from after this former document. That's the document I'll send out after the meditation. That is at the very end of the document for about DNA. It's the one about epigenetics. It was a very long message from Siri Gian about 5 weeks ago or so. And oh, so here it is. This is dated the 21st of January, and it was number 808 if you already have it, but I'll send it out again. And then we're going to watch this video, Urgent Dolores Cannon's Final Warning. And we'll do the meditation, which is 1 minute of heart pumping, 5 minutes of CNR or consciousness, no reality, which is strong heart breath, belly breath, nose inhalation for 6 seconds, nose exhalation for 6 seconds from out of your heart center. Slide from fear, let go from any of your old, nasty, difficult stuff. No reality, no thinking or everyday self, but only feel, just be. Then 2 minutes to become awareness and understand what happened from your everyday self. Use your notes. Listen, share. Lots of love from Siri Gian. Yeah?
Yes. And March 3rd is this coming Tuesday. You got it?
It's coming up.
You betcha. Okay. So here we go.
All right. Please do heart breath while I do some technical over here to load the video.
Sure.
Look up at the night sky. The clock is winding down.
Oh, wait a minute.
In exactly 8 days.
Wait a minute. I haven't seen that. So how do we do that? Japa Saraswati? Oh, wait a minute. Oh, okay.
Is it this top video?
Yes, I could change that, and it says close. It closes March 3rd. Okay.
That's the video we're watching.
Okay. Does everybody, do you understand that?
Let's
Oh,
watch
wait a
the
minute.
video and find out.
Okay,
The
I got
March
it now.
3rd total lunar eclipse will
Wait a
plunge the
minute.
moon into shadow.
Wait a minute. Does everybody have your video? Everybody? Let us know.
Affirmative.
Okay, good. Let's go.
But do not let the news broadcast deceive you. This is not a celestial curiosity. This is not a moment to pull out a telescope. It is a deadline. What you are about to witness is the physical manifestation of the event Dolores Cannon spent her life predicting: the tearing of the veil. The timeline split, happening right now. You are already feeling it. The sudden, crushing exhaustion that sleep cannot fix. The high-pitched frequency ringing endlessly in your ears. The bizarre sensation that time itself is collapsing, slipping through your fingers like water. You are not sick. You are not losing your mind. You are undergoing a violent biological upgrade. Your DNA is mutating, being forced to adapt to a frequency the human body has never held before. Astrologer Pam Gregory calls this exact window the choice point, a rare, unforgiving alignment where the energy of the cosmos demands a decision. The bridge between the old Earth and the new Earth is closing. You are standing on it. The eclipses of 2026 are not astronomical. They are quantum locks. And the March 3rd eclipse is the key turning in the cylinder. You cannot outrun a frequency, but you can master it. In this transmission, I will reveal the precise protocol required to survive this energetic tear. The shift is no longer a prophecy. It is your biology. To comprehend the sheer magnitude of what is about to unfold, we must return to the quiet, darkened rooms where Dolores Cannon conducted her deepest regressions. Hidden within the vast archives of her life's work are specific transcripts, sessions that spoke not of distant centuries, but of a narrow, volatile corridor in our immediate future. The entities communicating through her subjects repeatedly emphasized that the transition to the new Earth would not be a gentle, invisible process. It would be punctuated by intense celestial triggers, and the eclipses of 2026 were identified as the primary catalysts for this planetary separation. But why an eclipse? Why does a shadow crossing the face of the moon possess such profound spiritual gravity? For millennia, ancient wisdom keepers understood what modern science is only now beginning to measure. An eclipse is not merely an obstruction of light. It is an energetic valve. During a total lunar eclipse, the normal flow of solar radiation and gravitational forces that stabilize the Earth's electromagnetic field is momentarily disrupted. This creates a temporary tear in the fabric of the three-dimensional matrix, a thinning of the veil that separates our dense physical reality from the higher, multi-dimensional octaves. It is a portal, a momentary suspension of the laws that govern our material world, allowing unprecedented volumes of cosmic data to flood the planet. This incoming data is not metaphorical. It is literal light code, and your physical body is the receiver. For decades, the spiritual community has spoken of this energetic influx, but the mechanics remained shrouded in mystery. Now, the brilliant minds of our era, pioneers like Greg Braden and Dr. Joe Dispenza, have bridged that gap. They have identified the exact scientific mechanism by which this cosmic radiation interacts with human biology. They have proven how the fluctuating magnetic fields during an eclipse directly alter the crystalline structures within your brain and rewrite the sequencing of your DNA. They understand how the cosmic becomes cellular. This is the choice point Pam Gregory has warned us about. The energies pouring through the March 3rd portal will amplify whatever frequency you currently hold, locking you into a corresponding timeline. But you are not meant to navigate this blindly. Later in this transmission, I will reveal a specific, actionable frequency protocol, a synthesized method to stabilize your biology and shield your aura during this profound cosmic upgrade. You must know how to anchor yourself, because when the veil thins, the world as you know it will begin to dissolve. The universe does not deal in random occurrences. It operates on a precise mathematical code, and the March 3rd eclipse is a profound line of execution within that code. To understand the sheer magnitude of the choice point, we must strip away the mystical language and examine the raw planetary mechanics. For this, we turn to the pioneering research of Greg Braden, a scientist who has dedicated his life to mapping the intersection of human emotion, DNA, and the Earth's magnetic fields. The Earth is protected by an invisible electromagnetic shield, a magnetosphere that deflects the vast majority of high-frequency cosmic radiation and solar winds. This shield is what makes biological life possible in the third dimension. But it is not a static barrier. It breathes, it fluctuates. And during a total lunar eclipse, it stutters. When the Earth passes directly between the Sun and the Moon, the intricate gravitational and electromagnetic dance that sustains our planetary shield is temporarily disrupted. The magnetosphere experiences a profound, localized drop in intensity, a momentary lowering of the drawbridge. This is the thinning of the veil that mystics have described for millennia. But what happens when the shield drops? In that narrow window of astronomical alignment, a concentrated stream of high-frequency cosmic rays, gamma radiation, and intense biophotonic light is allowed to penetrate our atmosphere with unprecedented clarity. This is not destructive radiation. It is informational radiation. It is the language of the cosmos, broadcasting a higher dimensional operating system directly onto the surface of the Earth. And your body is the antenna. This is the biological trigger Dolores Cannon warned us about. As these high-frequency cosmic rays flood the planet, they do not simply wash over you. They interact directly with your physical biology. Deep within the center of your brain lies the pineal gland, a tiny pine cone-shaped organ that is not merely biological, but profoundly electromagnetic. The pineal gland is lined with microscopic calcite crystals, piezoelectric structures that are highly sensitive to external magnetic fields. When the Earth's magnetic field drops during the eclipse and the cosmic radiation surges, these crystals act as a transducer. They convert the incoming cosmic frequencies into an electrical signal, a signal that is then broadcast throughout your entire nervous system. This is the high-pitched ringing you are hearing. This is the sudden, inexplicable exhaustion. Your nervous system is being flooded with an electrical current it has never processed before. You are being rewired. For hundreds of thousands of years, humanity has operated on carbon-based DNA, a dense, heavy structure perfectly suited for survival in a harsh, three-dimensional reality. Carbon-based biology thrives on separation, fear, and the relentless drive to secure resources. It is the foundation of the old Earth matrix. But the incoming radiation of the March 3rd choice point is incompatible with this density. The electrical signal generated by your pineal gland acts as an activation code for the dormant strands of your genetic material. It initiates a profound biological transmutation, a shift from carbon-based DNA to crystalline-based DNA. This is the manifestation of the new Earth within your own cells. Crystalline, or silica-based biology, is less dense. It vibrates at a significantly higher rate. It is not designed for survival. It is designed for light processing, for telepathy, immediate manifestation, and multidimensional awareness. It is the biological hardware required to exist in the fifth dimension. But this transmutation is not automatic. And this is where the danger and the choice truly lies. The energy of the eclipse is an amplifier. It does not choose your path for you. It simply supercharges whatever frequency you are currently broadcasting. This is the mechanism of the timeline split. In quantum physics, reality is a sea of infinite probability waves. It is the observer, the consciousness, that collapses those waves into a single, solidified experience. The March 3rd eclipse acts as a massive, planetary catalyst for this collapse. It is a quantum portal, a moment where the wave-particle duality of your existence is fully exposed. If, during this window, your dominant frequency is anchored in fear, anxiety over the economy, anger at the political system, terror at the news of natural disasters, your heart emits a low, chaotic electromagnetic field. The eclipse will take that chaotic field and amplify it. The cosmic radiation will interact with your carbon-based DNA, solidifying its density. You will collapse the quantum wave function into the timeline of the old Earth, a reality defined by entropy, control, and the continued collapse of the 3D systems. You will be locked into the matrix you have chosen to fear. However, if you have done the inner work, if you have commanded your internal resonance to hold the frequency of love, neutrality, and observation, your heart emits a highly coherent, powerful electromagnetic field. When the eclipse amplifies that frequency, the cosmic rays interact harmoniously with your pineal gland. The electrical signal triggers the activation of your crystalline DNA. You collapse the wave function into the timeline of the new Earth, an ascending reality of abundance, unity, and expanded consciousness. The universe is performing a sorting algorithm based entirely on your internal resonance. It is a cold, mathematical sorting of consciousness based on the ability to hold light. Pam Gregory's choice point is not an astrological metaphor. It is a literal, biological fork in the road. Dolores Cannon's visions of two Earths occupying the same space, vibrating at different speeds, are becoming a physical reality. The eclipses of 2026 are the engine driving them apart. You cannot think your way through this portal. The 3D intellect is too slow to process the incoming data. You must navigate this transition with your heart and your frequency. The shield is dropping. The cosmic code is streaming in. The timeline is splitting. The only question that remains is which Earth your DNA is currently tuned to receive. Stop looking for the fire in the sky. Stop waiting for the oceans to swallow the continents. You have been programmed to expect a physical apocalypse. You have been conditioned to wait for the spectacular end of the world. They have lied to you. The old Earth does not explode. It does not shatter into a billion pieces of rock. It simply persists. It is a holographic illusion, a decaying, highly dense simulation running entirely on the fumes of human anxiety. And right now, you are the battery keeping it alive. You are expecting the March 3rd choice point to be a divine rescue mission, but you are being walked directly into a psychological trap. The real danger of this cosmic window is not celestial. It is completely manufactured. The danger is fear. Do you honestly believe the relentless, escalating cycle of global wars, economic collapses, and societal chaos is a coincidence? Look at the precise timing. The architects of the 3D matrix, the media conglomerates, and the unseen elite know exactly what astronomical clock we are operating on. They know the Earth's magnetic field is dropping. They know the portal is opening. And they are absolutely terrified of your mutating DNA. They cannot stop the eclipse. They cannot block the cosmic radiation, but they can manipulate the receiver, which is you. So they flood your screens with terror. They pump panic into your living room to keep your nervous system locked in a state of primal survival. They know the biological law of this universe. Fear contracts DNA. When you are afraid, your genetic structure tightens. The crystalline upgrade stops dead in its tracks. You remain dense. You remain carbon. Your frequency plummets to match the chaos of the broadcast. And when the March 3rd eclipse acts as a magnifying glass for your dominant vibration, if that vibration is terror, you will be locked into the 3D loop. You will tether your soul to a sinking ship that never quite goes under. A holographic prison that just repeats its misery, timeline after timeline. Every time you react to their breaking news, you pay for another hour of the 3D simulation. Every time you lose sleep over a manufactured crisis, you anchor yourself to the old earth. If you hate the politicians they put in front of you to hate, you stay. You are being invited to a riot of the mind. Decline the invitation. Ascension is not a physical flight into the clouds. It is not an extraterrestrial rescue. It is the absolute mastery of observation. It is the radical ability to stand in the center of a collapsing world and feel nothing but profound, untouchable peace. You must look at the chaos and recognize it for what it truly is. A dying projection trying to convince you it is still real. To cross the threshold of the choice point, you must watch the old earth burn on your screens without absorbing the heat. You must become the silent witness. The Matrix is begging for your emotional reaction because it is starving for your energy. Starve it back. Breathe. Release the tension you have been holding in your jaw, in your shoulders, in the very core of your being. You have seen the illusion, and now you hold the ultimate power to dismantle it. To safely navigate the monumental energies of the March 3rd choice point, we must turn to the biological mastery of Dr. Joe Dispenza and implement a sacred 3-step survival protocol. The first pillar of your liberation is the Matrix fast. For the remaining days leading up to the eclipse, you must radically sever the invisible cords between your consciousness and the screens that harvest your fear. Turn off the broadcasts of destruction, silence the feeds of manufactured outrage, and reclaim the sovereign territory of your mind. By refusing to consume their narrative of terror, you are literally starving the 3-dimensional grid of the life force energy it requires to keep you imprisoned. In the profound absence of their noise, your nervous system will finally remember how to hear the quiet, ancient rhythm of the new earth. The second pillar is the sacred act of cellular hydration. As cosmic radiation floods your physical vessel during this celestial window, your carbon-based cells are undergoing a fiery, exhaustive mutation into crystalline light. To survive this electrical surge, your body requires the pure, conductive embrace of living water. Before you drink, hold the glass gently between your hands and bless it with the highest frequencies of love, gratitude, and divine protection. You are speaking directly to the liquid crystal within the water, programming it to cool, soothe, and seamlessly integrate the massive influx of cosmic codes now entering your DNA. Drink deeply and allow this blessed water to wash away the dense, heavy residues of the world you are leaving behind. The third and final pillar is the absolute mastery of heart-brain coherence, the return to the zero-point observer state. As the Earth's magnetic shield fluctuates wildly during the eclipse, you must become your own stabilizing magnetic field. Place your hand over your chest, breathe slowly and deeply into the center of your heart, and anchor a profound, untouchable peace within your physical body. When the world outside spins into manufactured chaos, you do not react. You do not judge, and you do not fear. You simply observe the storm from the silent, infinite stillness of your own sacred center. By locking your heart and mind into this coherent state, you generate an electromagnetic shield so powerful that no lower dimensional frequency can pierce it. You must understand this truth at the very deepest level of your soul. Safety is not a coordinate on a map. It is not a hidden bunker in the mountains, and it is not a physical distance you can travel to escape the collapse. Safety is a frequency. It is a resonance you hold within the temple of your own chest. Anchor yourself in this radiant light, master your internal state, and the gates of the new earth will open seamlessly before you. You did not find this transmission by accident. If these words resonate in the deepest chambers of your heart, if your soul recognizes the truth hidden beneath the static of the world, it is because you already know who you are. You are the volunteer. You are the starseed. You chose to incarnate into the heavy density of this exact timeline for one monumental purpose. As the March 3rd eclipse casts its shadow across the planet, your ultimate mission is activated. When the magnetic field drops and the masses succumb to the illusion of fear, you must stand as the unshakable pillar. You are here to hold the light grid for the rest of humanity. You are the living bridge between a dying matrix and the glorious birth of the new Earth. But a single pillar cannot support a planetary shift. We are building a global network of sovereign light. Subscribe now to lock your energy into this frequency grid, to declare your eternal sovereignty to the cosmos. And you must share this message.
Are we ready to do the meditation with heart pumping, Siri Gian?
Is that the end?
Yes, that was the end. That
Oh,
was them telling us to like and subscribe.
oh, okay. Okay. So everybody, listen. Okay. Now, uh, talk about CNR and do this. Wait a minute to find out. Okay. So we're having 1 minute heart pumping and 5 minutes CNR, consciousness, no reality. Do you remember about strong heart breath? Do you remember about coherent heart light? You remember that? Okay. Then it says slide from fear. You remember about that? Let go. And if you feel something, or if a car kind of swipes across you, and stay with no fear. Do you understand that? Okay. No, no fear, no worry, no concern. Do you understand that? Okay. Then no reality, no thinking, and no EDS. And you remember about no reality. What we have just seen is definitely no reality, okay? Because you're going to feel that. You know that from your own self, from your heart and from your mind. Okay? And next is for, but only feel, just be. And be, do you remember? I am, I am. Do you remember that? Is how do you feel that? You got it? Okay, and then 2 minutes, we're going to have become awareness and then understand what happens from EDS, but from your own pure self. And keep up your notes. Does everybody understand that? Be very aware of all those things for CNR. Okay, you ready? And begin now for heart pumping. And now continue CNR, consciousness, no reality. 5 minutes. Inhale, exhale. And listen what you have known or held for. Now, 2 minutes. Inhale. And breathe continually. Okay. Aagia Pal, are you ready?
Sure. I this this is big, and I, after listening, have realized just how big this is going to be on March 3rd, and I understand it more deeply, and it's big. And I was listening, and what I heard when I was listening was, um, yes, you're a volunteer, but you are also a matrix builder. And what I was told is that community, being for this shift, we can no longer feel like independent individuals. Communities of whether they're, physical or um, um, energetic, whatever, are absolute. This is necessary for our evolution at this point, going forward for the new Earth. And so what I heard was that yeah, we can't do it alone. And for me, it felt like, well, what I heard was, okay, I am a person here that will participate as a matrix builder. And what that, I think, meant to me was that energetically, these three pillars that the shut off the negativity in electronics, like, oh my God, Trump's speech last night talks about negativity. and separation and splitting, I shut the TV off. And I watched it too long because I was a little bit of a mess for a while after that. And I said, no, not part of this world. I am not a part of this world that says you screwed up and I'm the greatest. And look at what we have done, just like separating everyone under the aegis of, oh, we're making it much better for people, and where they can, giving them more, giving people, the ability to save more money and stuff, which is, I'm like, lies. So anyway, I shut the TV off. So that's the first pillar, to help to build the matrix, to talk to people, to work with people. And then the second one, of course, is the water. And the water I love. And I've done a lot of swimming recently, and drinking a lot of spring water, and with a high, like the pH of like 7.5, 8. So highly alkaline, so that the acidic stuff that fills up in my system can be balanced out. And then, of course, the third one is DNR, and establishing this, establishing this heart-mind coherence. And like it was suggested that we put our hand on our heart, which physically brings our attention, my attention to the heart center. And for me, that's a little bit of the hardest one, because I tend to bounce out of it. Paying attention is critical. And so for me, learning now more the importance of paying attention, I don't know how this is going to happen, but putting out there my intention that to be able to help lots of people with this transition and this transmutation, I guess, of our DNA, and to navigate into this new world. I want to be able to help, certainly help myself. I'm nowhere near there, but I find if I help someone else, it also helps me to it just helps me. So I want to be a part of building this matrix. And let me see what else. So he left me with the question of how I'm going to go about this, because obviously I can't go up to people and go, oh, that your DNA is being totally reworked, and that. So how do I work with someone without them thinking I'm crazy? And so it's and that means slowly, little by little, and that really irks my nerves, because I can feel patients coming up. But anyway, so that's my work now, is looking at how I can help people, whether it be through music or however. It's my intention to be led to help people to navigate this rise in their frequency, and to welcome it, and and to move into the new world, and anchor themselves, in because we, like as Pam said, anchor yourself, starve out the scary, love in the good, and anchor yourself in compassion and love, and most of all, peace. And so, but how to do that, how to be a matrix worker and build people connections in this is where I'm at least. So with that, I will share the time.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Welcome. Thank you.
Okay. And, and now we have, wait a minute, Gian Das Prem.
Satnam. That reminded me, I felt like I was in a yoga class there. I can't think of which one it was, but when we come into sort of like listening to somebody or guided meditations, that was very interesting today. So for me, like, it's, that being in the middle of like seeing both sides, right, and understanding all of that. So it's like lightning. I could see lightning, like, in how it cuts the air, and sort of how sometimes there's the cutting in the air of the energy, the vibration, the electrical current, the frequency of the voice, and all of this, that when we're listening, it brings us to different places. So for me, it was that happiness code coming in for the being the way of the caring, where the love is kind, yet there's sort of this line that we're walking on, right? The skin of the apple, right? The protective layer of the earth and the bubble and all of that. So understanding that we're here, as it's just so beautiful that we're here on this miracle of this miraculous place with this wonderful moon and all of these, other planets outside of our, what are we, the third stone from the sun? So the kindness frequency and the breath of that, when we're coming to that consciousness, reality of, sliding from fear and sort of staying in that gear of sliding from fear, right? And we can remind ourselves in the breath when we're, breathing in and out, and whether we have a mantra with that, it's okay to to have I am who I am what I am, right? And it's okay, it's all right. I'm digesting that light through my memory and my muscle memory, through my fat and the pathogens and all of this thing that I'm seeing and feeling the evaporation in front of me in certain ways, whether it's dust moving or I'm seeing smoke. It's okay. It's all right to notice certain things that are going on in nature, and sometimes I'm noticing them in places that maybe they shouldn't be happening. But if that's part of my change in the vibration and what we're doing with this constant change, right? So for me, it was the picking up motions for salutations and with the dance, and us noticing that we're, for myself, I'm an instrument of the nature that I'm surrounded by, and all of this free moving space, and the remnants of the energies that that came together to create us and then sort of spread apart, but also left their markers. There's a certain amount that we know, but we certainly are at the point where we're admitting that we know a lot less than who we are or what we're doing, or so, but we are moving towards a sense of this freedom, right? Back to that freedom with this way that all of this is allowed. And when we look deep into it, it's just so amazing how it is, right? We're reaching out far away with our media to see and to calculate and to come up with formulas and share the ideas over the ages for the current formulas to, match the stimulation of the change in our DNA, because we only know so much about our DNA. Excuse me. And then sort of leaving the self too, to try to step back from all of that, right? There's a way. So for me, it's telling me to go back into my practice of, the deeper breathing. And for me, it's been sniffing, noticing the tastes that are coming in when I'm sniffing, and then the flavors they're going out when I'm, exhaling. So some of the simple things and for my treatment of the kind-hearted way, right? For being with other people, becoming a helper, learning the steps that it takes to be in that process, and then preparing the body physically to be able to handle that process of picking up another body, or letting another body fall gently on me so I can help them. We're all facing physical challenges and mental challenges as well too. So it's good that if we can have some sort of comfort there, and certainly we have a choice of our media. And the music is just so beautiful when we can go into our voice and sort of raise our vibration to that next level, or even to notice that depth of our voice, and the ooh, and coming through. And with the heart will tone us when we go along as well. When we're sort of just toning, we can bring our heart into that, our heartbeat, how it's beating into the sound. And I'm also being told through source that we can also, when we're inhaling, we can celebrate our mantra too. We're sort of whispering on the inhale, right? Like the lover's voice. So we're taking that vibration in as part of the song, and breathing out the outer vibration through the octaves in our voice. And changing that crystalline structure of being in that place, right? Where we're positive energy from a kind-hearted, giving way, and accepting, knowing the losses that we have come over the fear into love and into sharing. And yeah. And this morning I just had this most beautiful dream of waking up and seeing, the earth with all of its natural abilities, how it was at certain points that there were, big chunks of gold. There were, diamonds and crystals sticking out of the ground. There were like all of these things that were just there, but there were only so many people. And now we're coming back to that change of the inner earth coming out, with its energies of all those crystals that are inside of the earth. It's so beautiful to see. We have crystals, and then we have other structures right within there that are helping us, that are changing us. So without, further ado, we're changing our DNA, and we can look inside. So that's what I'm trying to do now, and noticing the macular degeneration with that. There's a challenge, how I mentioned today, that we will be faced with certain challenges, right? And Siri Gian is mentioning her thing with her eyes, and each one of us have challenges that we're going through, right? But we can rely on other parts of our senses. And through these practices, through yoga, through going to school, we, practiced with an egg that we carried around and treated it like a baby. We blindfolded our eyes for 24 hours. We tried not to talk for so long, right, as part of these studies that we do. And we can go back to those and refamiliarize ourselves with our roots, and even in the genome of looking at the DNA, like looking at the structures, and for us to grow into that part of learning the rest of it. Waheguru, yeah, that Waheguru. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Wonderful. Thank you so much.
Thank you for the opportunity and the help with that, because this week there was a lot of reading and listening. So it was just beautiful to have all of these tools that we have now in our library to go back on. And yeah, thank you so much.
Okay. I want to tell you something. You know, I didn't have the document together except for in the morning. I was going to do that like real quick, but I had some other ideas for the videos. But then in that moment, I was basically told what, not told is good, but showed for me to listen that particular video. And usually I can do that um, uh, pretty much to get together. But then, oh my God, I had to do this again. Oh, but then I said, uh-oh, do that because that's what's actually happening in the now, in the now. So that's what's happening. This is it. Okay, thank you. Okay, Harimandir. Oh, and by the way, that Japa Saraswati was able to help all these other situations for all of that quickly. Okay, Harimandir?
Yeah. I have some questions, but I also have some experience. What was interesting to me when Aagia Pal mentioned the state of the state message yesterday.
What, with Trump? Is that what you're talking about?
Yes, I prefer not to mention his name, but number 45 or however you want to call him. I was watching with my husband, just because it's important to not get his message third hand about how terrible or this or that. It's important to actually see him, so we know what we're dealing with.
Mm-hmm.
So I watched, but I fell asleep through
How funny. Okay.
an hour of it. I was there at the beginning. And what was really interesting was there was a point at the beginning when he was still pulling out people in the audience that he had brought in to stand up and stuff. And I woke up or became aware of a young woman who was in tears who stood up. And I asked Jim, what was that all about? He said, well, he just told you. I had no recollection at all. And it was a very terrible story. It was about a little girl who was stabbed many times in the tub. I didn't hear a word of it, not a word.
There you go.
And that sense of protection was very evident, that I didn't have to listen to that part.
Isn't that wonderful?
Yeah.
Oh, can I tell you that?
Yes.
For me, I have a lovely group of people, and this is for Rachel. So they all wanted to go together. And I thought, well, I didn't really. So anyway, we put that up, and it was about 3 minutes through that, and listening 3 minutes to that guy, and it was total poison, total poison. So I got up and went away.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Well, it's total non-reality. I mean,
It's
it's
craziness.
yeah.
Mhm.
Um,
Okay.
so today, um, I started humming. Um, not a tune, but just I keep one of the next things I'm planning on teaching in my chair yoga Wednesdays after this at 11:30 my time. This is 9 a.m. my time right now. The next time I teach the chair yoga, I will be teaching hum. And so it's the vibration of hum, hum. And it sets up a vibration in the body. Um, and so part of my listening, I I was moved to do that this morning.
Here you go.
And it
Yeah.
felt really um, I have a couple of questions. One is, what is um, today about 25? Everything was pointing at 25, the 25th of February. What is it? What happened today? What happens today? What is the 25th of February all about?
Well, we're talking about March 3rd for the eclipse. Now, what happens, like people who have astrology, uh, it doesn't happen just in 1 minute or one day. You know, you feel this uh, slowly into this and then end slowly. So that's what we're doing. We're in that. Do you
Uh,
understand that?
yeah, evidently today is an astrological event of some sort, and I don't
That's
know.
right. It's just what you said.
An astrological event. Does anybody know what that is? What the event is?
Did somebody else, maybe Japa Saraswati, do you know about that?
No, I'm not aware.
Okay. Well, this
I,
was. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. I was just thinking that for me, I can start to feel the energies already of the lunar eclipse. So is that 5 days? 25, 26, 27, 28, 1. No. But anyway, for me, it's the beginning of the lunar eclipse. That's all.
And that's what the video was all about.
Yeah.
And because frequencies are changing, do you understood that?
Yeah, no, I understood that. I'm just trying to figure out because the 25th was, I'm trying to think that um, advertised is the wrong word, but on the 17th, when we had the lunar eclipse of the new moon,
Mm-hmm.
and the
Mm-hmm.
idea of the new moon being invisible in the sky was a whole other um, piece of information I hadn't thought about before. And that on the 17th, they said on the 20th and on the 25th, these are big days. And yes, and now the third. And so I
There
had
you go.
I had another question about eclipses because uh, your friend and mine, Judy Legrand, had, and I have a session with her this afternoon. But she had said that for me to really pay attention to the eclipses of 2026. And I had no idea that there is another one. There was a huge one on the 17th. There's
Of February 17th. Yeah,
yeah,
go ahead.
which was the beginning of the of Ramadan. It was the beginning of the year of the fire horse. It was the beginning of um, all sorts of
Right. Mm-hmm.
things. Mardi Gras and Lent, 0 degrees Aries, all that stuff. So it's only through these things that we're listening to. I guess I am curious to find out how many there's going to be a lot of eclipses this year, and um, I need I I am curious about how many there are, and evidently these eclipses are big deals.
About what?
They are big deals.
Yes. Uh-huh.
So this is the first time I've heard. I had heard about March 3rd, but I hadn't heard that it was an eclipse.
Mm-hmm. Well, I didn't either.
Hey,
So we're just finding these things.
yeah.
And by the way, you know, you listened to Pam Gregory. We've had that before. And
Don't remember.
if you're interested about the astrology, you should go to Pam Gregory and to get her about predictions for each month
Oh,
and the year as well. Okay,
okay.
I think that's the best thing to do.
All righty.
Okay, okay. Take care. Thank you, dear.
Yes, and one just an aside. The work I'm doing here politically, there's a lot of fear and anxiety about it. So, but it's part of my job is to bring in the calm and the peacefulness. Oh, I know what I wanted to say. Um, the head monk who led the peace walk across the U.S. Gave us an assignment, and every day to say today is going to be my peaceful day, and not just say it, but write it down. And I have started to do that. I began on the 20th. Today is going to be my peaceful day, out loud in your mind and at physically writing it. And what I've added to that is a song that I guess it's a Unitarian song, Welcome, Rejoice, and Come In. And I am applying that to my smile, not my outward, not my smile. Yes, it's physical smile, but it's not to smile at people, although that's important, but it's for myself. So welcome, smile, rejoice, and come in. Um, and today I will send out healing energy. So I'm adding those to today is going to be a peaceful day.
Wonderful. How wonderful.
It's the first time I've thought to do a 40-day practice in a long time. I haven't, maybe
Mhm.
5 years. So since all the other stuff had been happening in the Kundalini yoga world. So as of this morning, I did, today was my 6th day. So adding that, it is a way to stay on track as this DNA changes. Having some
Yes,
a 40-day practice or and beyond is one way to deal with all this.
good. This is excellent because you know that what we're doing now, making the split, you know, we know about that.
Mm-hmm.
And so what what all of those videos are saying that what we have here now is only about our uh, ability, what we call physical. It's not. It's from energy, energy only. But what's happening to the new age is, and we saw what kind of terrible things could happen. But for us, for the light workers, you stay with your own mind and thinking with your own frequency is changing. Do you understand? You're using the frequency and use what you were talking about with uh, with these monks. And what you're doing is you are actually changing the frequency, which is pure reality. It's changing from your thinking. Can you believe that?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's important. And when we do that, I would like to do that for a few minutes afterwards for that, for your own thinking, okay? Or believing or knowing. Let's say that much better. Thank you, dear. Is that okay? You
Yeah,
got it?
got it.
Okay, good. Okay, Aagia Pal. No, wait a minute. Japa Saraswati.
Satnam. Well, I have to start out by telling a story about I think our angel is Jagat Gurukar, who was my yoga teacher in Florida, and she did a breath walk class at the park where it was like a multi-week. I want to say maybe it was like 4 weeks or 8 weeks or 6 weeks or something.
Mhm.
And we would all meet at a nearby park that had a long walking path around it to do breath walk. And and it was really wonderful. And anyway, right at the beginning of the meditation, it was really funny. So I brought a bunch of sunflowers to give to everybody who had joined us at the beginning. And then we all would meet at the picnic tables and we left our sunflowers there. I think maybe somebody had it in a bottle of water or something like this. And then we're doing our breath walk. And as we're walking around, the flowers, we came back after a couple of loops and the flowers were gone. And I felt a little bit sour, a little bit bitter, like, oh, somebody stole our flowers. I think we'd left the keys with them or something. We'd left our things so that you could see that it wasn't, an abandoned something, that it was, just left in the park while we're walking around for a minute. And then we made one more loop and we found the sunflower had been taken by a squirrel or a chipmunk. And all of a sudden, it was so lighthearted and wonderful that like it went from being, I went on one loop feeling a little bit sad, a little bit down, downtrodden, a little bit bitter, like, oh, somebody was a jerk and they messed with our flowers. And then all of a sudden, when you saw that it was an animal who had done it for food, it was like, oh, it's so joyful and happy. We all giggled and laughed. And it was like, of course, nobody minded that the animal took the flower um, at that. And to me, the part of the message was about the perspective. So, the message from Bubba that I had was about well, part of it was about codependency versus interdependency. And I've been seeing it in one of my coworkers. I have this coworker who is really, really codependent with a lot of people. And what she does is, I noticed that she does this. She will cross boundaries so that she creates an enmeshment, and then she relies heavily on those people that she's crossed the boundaries with, but she also makes up for it, or I don't want to say makes up for it, but she tries to make it right by overgiving in another department. And and uh what I've been seeing and feeling with this is that it's really not right use of energy on her part. And I see her kind of breaking down as I feel like the Aquarian shift is getting nearer and nearer, that these old traits like codependency are not gonna uh, be really good for us in the Aquarian, that the time is now to give it up. And I feel her. Another one I'm feeling is another lady I'm feeling. It's like I feel her claws trying to dig down in because she doesn't want to give up the old ways for the Aquarian, for the new Aquarian ways. And but what I'm feeling is that we're always going to be interdependent, and that's a good thing. It's a good positive thing to be interdependent, like this matrix, or like us each being pillars of light. But the the codependency, the clause in the old ways, those aren't lasting. And what I felt was that it's like Michelangelo used to say about his stone statues, that the statue was already there inside of the stone, and that all he was doing was revealing it. And that's what I feel is like the eclipses changing the light. It was like that story with the chipmunk stealing the flower, that you can walk around feeling bitter about it, but at the end of the day, it was all a matter of perspective. It was always there that the animal took the flower, as opposed to, some meanie pants or whatever, and and that's what I'm feeling about the eclipse, is not just the eclipses, but this shift to the Aquarian, that it's about perspective, and that it's about also the light just revealing what was there all along. And what was the rest of it? Um, where what and what we carry forward, what we're going to take with us into the next iteration. What are we going to carry forward with us on this path, either that bitterness or that joy, one or the other.
Mhm.
I
Okay,
think that was my
either,
message.
okay, joy or what else? Tell me, I
Well, the
forgot that.
bitterness of
Oh,
of that.
bitterness.
Yeah, or I also felt like with the president's speech, like, I didn't watch the whole thing. I didn't watch it firsthand, but I watched afterwards, or today, some commentary about it to learn what he had said. And I don't like to give him that much attention because to me it seems really clear that he's thriving off of all of the attention, that he's really, um, yeah, that's a really happy spot for him to be basking in, the center of it. And so for me, it is about a bit of distance so that I am not um, caught up in the swell of emotion. And it's also about, like when George Bush Jr. was president, I did not speak his name for the entirety of his presidency, nor did I turn on a television. Like and that was how I abstained from it. Um, and but it's the emotions that will get caught up inside of us that will carry forward instead of, a more heart-centered, a more grounded. That's what I was feeling about the roots. There's this woman that I know up here who she's Brazilian, and she was the one with the clause. She wanted to come and stay in America, so she married a guy, and now it's come out, or everybody's saying that she's divorcing him because she's got her green card, and but she's still living in the house with him. She won't leave the house, and she's really, anyway, I can feel her almost the roots driving down, 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 trying to hold herself pinned down, but to me, it was so much a metaphor on so many levels because like why hold on to it like that? Like why? And I feel the same about the bitterness, the bitterness that I could be holding on to in myself. That's wrong. I know that's wrong. And so what am I going to do? I'm going to dig my heels in and hold on tight to that bitter burning. No, it's better to be on the place of release and on trust and on just on the better part of the journey, on the better part of the perspective, like giggling that it was a chipmunk who stole the flower instead of, something else.
Exactly. And remember epigenics?
Yeah,
Remember that?
yeah,
And what you were talking about, that lady wanted her her the
green,
other what do you say? Uh, the husband is just for her own wants to do that for her. But
yeah,
I saw that like 3 days ago that I heard from uh, Dolores Cannon again for those kinds of things, saying, no, that is part of the old part. Do you
hmm,
understand that?
yeah, yeah,
Mm-hmm. That's it.
yeah,
Okay. So now, one of the things that's very important that we're finding about that when we are getting knowing of who we really are, that is, I am now. I am. Okay, say that again.
I
I am now. I am. Okay, and these other leaders are also being saying about the frequency, like what we're talking about, the frequency making the blocks for the future, which
yeah,
is from frequency And that would be our reality. Okay. So now they say to begin with thinking, knowing who we are and what we're going to do. And so this, we're just try a couple of minutes to feel and know and understand about your own frequency. Okay? It could be in the woods, or it could be in pure peace, or whatever. Okay? So let's do that also during CNR and have 3 minutes. Is that okay for you guys?
Okay.
Okay. So let's do that. Okay? And begin. You might want to hear that from soul, Baba City Chan, from your guidance, not from your EDF. And inhale, exhale, and breathe. Okay. Aagia Pal,
Yes, I was in water and I heard I am, you are, we are being held and protected. Um, And I felt that very viscerally in my body, especially in my heart. It was beautiful. Thank you.
Wow. Thank you so much.
Um,
Okay. Gian Das Prem. Are you here?
Satnam. Wow.
No.
I was listening to the explanation, one of the explanations, and when we lose our explanations, but today I could just feel like a comfort, like I was being held, sort of like when being in a bath.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe my memory of the womb is coming back in that moment of my, you know, my acceptance into this earth to then notice my messages that I bring in for myself through source and that I use to help others. Yeah. And it's just being close to my mom now. I think that's part of the medicine I'm receiving. And the hum is so beautiful. That's I love that practice of just toning and humming, and I could really feel that today with the comfort. I felt like I could have just gone off into a really beautiful sleep, but there was that, yeah, beautiful yellow colors. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank
Mm-hmm.
you.
Wonderful. Thank you. Harimandir.
Yeah, it's interesting that you were saying I am now. I am. Um, Transcendental meditation, when they were first back in the 70s, everybody a mantra, but it was secret. You couldn't say it out loud. You couldn't share it with anybody.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but it was a different version of I am. It's I am, I am, I am, I am. And it's the same. It just depends on how you pronounce it. And it's the one that has, I mean, I did learned it back in 72. Um, and it's the one that I practiced for a little while. And
Say it again.
I, it was the I am mantra. When I first learned it, I was only a week into it, and all of a sudden my shoulders dropped. And
Uh-huh.
even today, it's the one mantra that will allow my shoulders to drop. It will allow everything to relax. So,
Wow. Isn't that wonderful?
yeah. So we read it as I am, but the vibration is I am. I am. Very a soft.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Thank you, dear. Okay. Japa Saraswati.
It was just cozy for me, you know, just very warm and cuddly and cozy.
Good.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you so much. Okay. For me, I've been thinking that a while. What would that be? And then finally, I realized, do you remember this Lady of the Lake? Have you heard of that?
Yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The
But
Lady of
that,
Shalott.
say it again?
I think the Lady of Shalott
Maybe.
in
And
Arthurian legend.
yes, and I've been thinking, For me, I thought it was from Adeline. Okay. So I found that means to be me as the Lady of the Lake, which is the Light Lady. I went, oh, okay. So it's for me to be. I am. And then it kind of walks away because I can't, because it's hard for me to hold that, but then stay with that. I am. Okay. Thank you all. God bless you all. And so, we need maybe Japa Saraswati. Can you lead us through our song?
All right. May the long-time sun shine upon you. All love
Surround you.
and
God
your
oh,
Your way on. God,
hey, hi. Inhale. No. Bless you all. So we know what we're doing. That's what we're moving. Thank you all.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Sat
Have a nice
down.
week.
Take care. Satnam.
Bye,
Sat down.
everyone.